Hey there, so today I want to return to the wonderful world of entertainment. And the last few months have particularly been entertaining, but for all the wrong reasons when we look at these folks. I knew that the clown car called Kick Vic, knew that they would be fun too. When you saw them pull up under the big top and you saw all the floppy shoes and the floppy opinions, the bright colored hair and the dim lit bulbs, you knew that that would be fun. But how fun? We never knew until now. And this stuff, it just keeps going. Now, people, they have talked about Jamie Marchi. Jamie Marchi is the person we're going to be talking about here. And we're going to talk about the charity that she decided to involve when she went out and she set a GoFundMe into motion. She wanted to make something about herself, too. If you don't think that, if you think that this is about someone else, there's a little way of looking at this and saying how this became about that person. You can see it right here. We have a voice and we're not afraid to use it. Although this has been a very challenging time for me and numerous others who have suffered with sexual assault and harassment, I realize that as a cisgendered white straight woman, my privilege has given me a platform that most survivors do not have. You can see that right away. This was supposed to be an endeavor that basically became about Jamie Marchi. It was going to be a statement where she took something in the Twitter world, when you use those types of pronouns, they're supposed to be, bulletproof. You can't go out, you can't argue against that stuff. But it really had turned into a different kind of spectacle. See, people, they started asking questions. And I think that it kind of mirrors what we've seen with the Mignogna situation. We see people that are willing to listen and believe, to give their time and their attention to something without asking questions. And then you see other people going out and saying, I wonder about this. Besides that little addition of self, I wonder about the place itself. I wonder what's there. And well, we found some very, very interesting things. One of those we'll get to in just a second. Now here, we actually have one thing I want to look at before. And the person here, Chamber of Hearts, actually put together a good video on this. In fact, this person and Supergirl, they actually run good channels. Supergirl, I mentioned because she dug up the other part we'll be talking about, and I want to give them props here. But you can see, like right here, when this conversation starts off, you talk about giving money to your own GoFundMe. And that's one thing. Apparently, you can go in and you can research very easily. Jamie Marchi decided to go out to break GoFundMe rules by going and giving money to something that she had set up. That seems to be one of the things these folks are good at, going and circumventing rules, not looking at what they're doing there. And yeah, very interesting how that puts together. Also, as you start looking into the place, it seems like perhaps, just perhaps, they haven't been putting together their tax returns either. This, again, from somebody else's research. When you go in as well and you start asking questions about them, you'll notice another particularly interesting fact, like they haven't actually been active on social media since early 2018, or late 2018, rather. You can see November 2018. That's the last time they were active. Very interesting. Again, if people try to go out, they try to get in contact with it, try to ask questions, they can't get anything returned. They can't get anyone to answer. And well, maybe the stuff out there, the stuff that we found out, maybe this is the reason why. Audit of OVW questions entire $2.3 million in grants to the National Organization of Sisters of Color Ending Sexual Assault. Again, you notice them there? All right, so it's basically the summary. And I think that this summary is important to look at. I'm not going to look at the entirety of it. I'm going to leave a link in the description so you can. But I think that this is something that is definitely worth looking at. So the DOJ of the Office of the Inspector General has completed an audit of 3 cooperative agreements awarded to the Office on Violence Against Women, or the OVW. You'll see that again and again. So remember remember that. Technical Assistance Program to the National Organization of Sisters of Color Ending Sexual Assault, or the SCESA, which that's what we'll be using again and again, located in Canton, Connecticut. Now, the SCESA was awarded around $2.4 million in total under cooperative agreements, they note here. The cooperative agreements were intended to provide technical assistance to. So this is what they were supposed to do out there. Support the operation and build the capacity of culturally specific organizations serving victims of sexual assault, domestic violence, dating violence, and stalking. Ensure OVW grantees in the U.S. territories are equipped with the necessary knowledge and tools to comprehensively address violence against women issues. 3. Create, enhance, and sustain the capacity of communities of color organizations to engage in the cultural relevant approaches to addressing sexual assault in their communities. Now, the reason that this was audited, they note here, was determine whether the costs claimed under the cooperative agreements were allowable, supportive, and in accordance with applicable laws, regulations, guidelines, and terms and conditions of the award. To accomplish this objective, they assessed performance in the following areas. So they note this: program performance and accomplishments, award financial management, award expenditures, budget management and control, drawdowns, federal financial reports, contractor monitoring, and compliance with award-specific conditions. Now, as a result of this audit, they concluded that the SCESA failed to effectively and efficiently manage the awards that we reviewed. Specifically, SCESA did not establish and maintain an effective system of internal controls. They did not maintain record-keeping or reporting system that produced complete, accurate, and reliable information that could be independently verified, had adequate separations of duties without any compensating controls, and did not adequately safeguard the award funding that it received. We've determined that the SCESA had unsupported and unallowable expenditures, did not adequately monitor its approved budget, could not adequately support its drawdowns, submitted inaccurate federal finance reports, lacked adequate contractor monitoring internal controls, and did not comply with award special conditions. While we found some evidence that the SCESA accomplished its stated award goals and objectives, this assessment is subject to the record-keeping and internal controls deficiencies cited in this report. So basically, while we found that they may have actually hit their goals, we found that, well, when we're looking at the way that they kept records, and their records, they were flawed. Definitely flawed. So continuing. Lastly, we found that SCESA lacked a completed single audit report, and that the organization's board of directors was not active in government's role over the organization and did not provide any meaningful oversight of the organization or its executive director. Because we concluded that the SCESA financial system had significant internal control deficiencies, making it unreliable, we could not rely on the records SCESA provided during our audit, and we questioned the full amount of all the awards, totaling, again, you can see the number there, as unsupported. So, when you're looking at this, if you look at the entirety of this audit, what you see is that this charity, basically, they have mismanaged. They did not keep up with the awards stated that they were supposed to. So, when you get down to that, they basically, again, they weren't just unreliable. They took money from the government, and they did not provide what they said. They would not provide their focuses. They couldn't provide the award specifics as far as expenditure. They couldn't prove that that money actually went to what they said it would. Now, when you look at that and you think about asking for money because you want to put your own personal stamp on that, that doesn't look good. That doesn't look good at all. In fact, when you're going out and you're trying to attach yourself to something, especially when you look at Kick Vic, again, it seems to mirror exactly what we've seen from that place. They don't back up anything that they say. What we have to believe here, we have to just listen. We have to hope that this place is put together right. And if they aren't, well, that's your bad for supporting, because, hey, in current year, why would you ask questions? Why would you denigrate that place by saying, I would like to know what my money, your support goes to. I would like to know that it goes to something that can actually back that up. Why would you ever do that? It's amazing. It is absolutely amazing to see this coming together and to see this worm, this rabbit hole that everything is actually moving down, because the further you go down it, it's just like Kick Vic. When you mirror their behaviors, their stories, when you start looking at it and you start asking for more, well, I'm sure that you would be privy to the same types of deflection that you would get from a place like this, telling you, how dare you ask those questions? How dare you ask people for accountability? The only problem with that, of course, is when you look into reports like this, well, the government, it doesn't seem to say that. So, yeah, like I said, there's a lot of things out there. There's a lot of questions that people want answered. And, they want, some accountability. They want to know what their support goes to. I think that is not a bad thing to state. And it's amazing that it becomes, an issue out here of which side you're on. You have people out there that are telling you to fully buy in, not to listen to those terrible folks out there. And, they like to deflect because they add political affiliation. This stuff, however, it is not a right or left thing. Many people, they fall all over that spectrum. It's a right-wrong thing, just like the Vic Mignogna thing. It is a right-wrong thing. And, well, when you're supporting that, you can stand on the quote-unquote right side of history, or you can go out. You can ask the hard questions. You may get answers that you don't like, but when you're asking them, they're questions that you actually need to ask. But anyhow, you tell me what you think about all of this stuff out there. Now, if you like this kind of content too, if you say to yourself, that umbrella guy, I love what you do. I love your channel. In fact, when we're going out, maybe I want to go out and I want to audit the heartbeats that are coming up, because, the heartbeats, they're just from the channel from me to you. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Isn't that great stuff? If you want to go out and hit that sub button, I appreciate that. Also, hit the bell to make sure that daily notifications come up. That would be great too. Then if you want to go further, there are links in the description. If you say to yourself, I just don't want that, I'd actually, I'd like to get a whole hospital staff behind it to monitor, so we can give you the blow-by-blow of those heartbeats, because that channel, it is so special. Check out the links in the description below. Leave your comments too. I definitely want to hear what you think about this stuff, pro or con. I don't care if you disagree with me. We may talk about it in the commentary, but I appreciate you showing up. In fact, that is something that I really want to end with. These folks, they attack you for asking questions. They will attack you pretty much for anything. Me, I don't want to do that. I do not want to attack anyone that is going out and that is asking the hard questions, that are actually trying to hold people accountable. Agreeing or disagreeing, you still make all of this stuff viable. All of it's important. And, of course, when you're putting it together, you should be appreciated for that. So I want to end by saying thank you. I do indeed appreciate you. We are part of a community. We're all the same in it. I appreciate you for that. And, of course, we'll do this again next time. Thank you.